have been made by North Korea.
Of course, that was White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders saying President Trump will meet North Korea's leader by May to discuss denuclearization if Kim Jong-un keeps his promises. Here now to discuss, Bruce Klingner, Senior Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation and the former CIA Deputy Chief for Korea. Fred Fleitz, former CIA analyst, Senior Vice President in Policy and Programs with the Center for Security Policies. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming on. Fred, let me start with you. It's been a while since you've been on the show. Everyone's looking at this with a quote-unquote healthy dose of skepticism, but there should also be perhaps a healthy dose of optimism as well, no?
I think that's right. Look, President Trump has changed the game. He's forced North Korea to change tactics. We have to test this to see if North Korea is sincere. This is going to be really, really difficult. And I would say we have to insist on two things. We have to be prepared to walk away if they are not keeping their commitments, and no summit with Kim Jong-un unless there are concrete commitments before the meeting takes place. That's simply too big a thing to give away to North Korea without seeing some concrete steps that they want to denuclearize.
Bruce, can we, though, at least consider where we've come so far? Even the news of this meeting, the letter being sent to South Korea's president to present to President Trump, a victory of sorts, at least for what people were calling an unorthodox, even dangerous attempt at foreign policy by the Trump administration?
Well, I think it's the pressure, the increased not only UN resolution sanctions, but stepping up U.S. unilateral actions to more fully enforce our laws, which is bringing the pressure on the regime. There's still things we can do that we're still pulling our punches on, but I think it's, as many of us have been advocating for a long time, you need to increase pressure. In addition to having an open door for diplomacy, you need both tracks if you're going to get any kind of traction.
Bruce, you piqued my interest. Give me some of these arrows that are still in the quiver.
Well, we're still pulling our punches against going Chinese violators of U.S. law. The Congress sent a list of 12 Chinese banks that they believe they have evidence for committing money laundering and other crimes within the U.S. financial system. The White House still hasn't taken action against them. In the run-up to the Iranian nuclear deal, the U.S. imposed $12 billion in fines on European banks for money laundering. For Iran, we've imposed $0 in fines on any Chinese bank money laundering for North Korea. So those are some of the steps we still should do.
Fred, the fire and fury comment sent the mainstream media nuts. They actually had their hair on fire after hearing that and said that President Trump had actually moved the world toward nuclear annihilation. In fact, the doomsday clock, I think, is as close to midnight as ever before. Where did everyone get wrong in not seeing that perhaps there had to be a different tact, a more forceful tact to make this happen?
Well, the doomsday clock change is based on global warming, too, Charles, so I don't take it particularly seriously. Look, I think Donald Trump has scared the hell out of the North Koreans by threatening to totally destroy them at the United Nations if he threatens the U.S. or its allies, by saying he has a larger nuclear button, and by reports recently that the U.S. is planning a bloody nose strike against North Korea. Now, the administration has denied that, but the message got through. I think that has forced the North Korean leadership to change their tactics. They see this as an administration they can't play for fools like they've played with numerous administrations in the past.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both very, very much. Again, it was an amazing week this week. In addition to the North Korean news, there was the market today. Dow up 441 points. NASDAQ at a new all-time high. We hadn't heard that in a long time, all because we created 313,000.